Trading the New York Open this week, I think a 1 minute candle was averaging about 80 points, where normally it's maybe 20, 30 at most. So the holes are hard. You have to have more drawdown. And I personally trimmed my position down to 3 micros, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're catching 200-300 points, that's what? $1,000 trades. Like, how many trades have we seen with 3 micros this week that went $400 or $500 in minutes? But also, we need to be dynamic as traders, because you know me, I love to hold my trades. I want to hold my trade all day.
Hey, welcome back. Here at the Market Mamas podcast, I cover a wide range of topics from the intricacies of day trading to mindset mastery and psychological growth, with the goal of the conversations being next level growth for all of us. My name is Becky, and I'm a US-based futures day trader from the Pacific Northwest. My trading experience includes trading stocks, options, crypto, and futures, with both trading a personal account as well as with prop funding companies. Over time, I found that I most enjoy the fast-paced world of intraday futures trading, so that is my primary day trading focus now. Thank you for joining me on the Market Mamas podcast today. Hey guys, welcome back to Market Mamas. So glad you're here, and I love talking to other traders. That's kind of my favorite part of having this platform. And so today I actually have a guest that I am very much a good friend with and trade with all the time and love picking his brain. So naturally I want to bring that a little bit out for a broader audience in case you guys haven't met him before. This is my good friend and fellow futures trader, Justin Miller. Justin, thank you for coming back with me today.
Yeah, glad to be back. And the first time we weren't that close, and now I feel like we're homies. So I'm excited to have a nice conversation about trading.
Yeah, we met at BluSky when I started working there and streaming there last fall. You were one of the early people that I started working with, and it was like, okay, wait, we have parallels. We should talk. And that was our first episode. You guys, let's link in the description for more about Justin's start into trading and kind of early when we got a friendship. And now we got to meet in person and trade live streaming together in the morning. And so you start to that's when you really get to know other traders, when you're like, what's your vibe? What are you watching? How do you see it? And it's been interesting to learn there with you.
Well, when you spend, 2-3 hours a day just talking to somebody, I feel like you start to get kind of close, and you bounce ideas, you vibe with each other, you really learn how you trade, you learn about their emotions. So it's been a cool experience.
Yeah, I mean, I was not prepared, honestly, for live streaming. When I got this job, I was like, can I record and then give it to you? Like I was pulling back from live streaming because I had never live streamed my trading before I came to BluSky. And so when I started there, I was like, maybe like 1 hour a week is what I tried to. And they're like, come on.
It is definitely a unique experience. And to your point about recording, you can't live trade with a recording. So you have to just do it. And I remember the first time I did it, it was an experience because you don't want to look stupid in front of people. But you're doing a great job.
When did you start? How was that? Because I am still working on leveling up in this world.
Well, you know what? I actually started... This had to have been like 2022. I joined up with an options server. I was very active. The guy asked me to be an admin. Then he asked me to live stream. And I wasn't a good trader at that point. Like I would lose all the time and I would care so much about it. And then I just realized, you know what? Who cares? They don't have to watch me. They can go somewhere else. And that's when it starts to get a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's what you guys had told me of like, you have to detach from the outcome, like do your best, try to shoot your best shots as you would at any point if this is your leverage. And then people ultimately have to do their own trades, because signaling trading is dangerous because just trading blindly up of what someone else is doing when you don't fully understand it, you get into a lot of trouble with that. But if you are watching the live stream where people are trading, it's different if you can get a good vibe where they're like, this support I like for XYZ, and if it gives a pound, then I'll be interested, and I want to size down because of this factor. And so having those kind of robust conversations around instruments that you trade is really powerful because you're learning while you're trading and taking opportunities together, but you're not just saying, this is along at this number, period, because that is such a gray, dangerous area.
Yeah, that's a great point. And for anybody watching that's maybe getting into trading or watching streams or wants to join one of our streams, definitely don't blindly follow. Use other people's opinions as confluence. If you want to use like levels, if we're calling out levels and we say these are key areas, mark them down, but use your own brain and your own strategy to kind of get it. Just because somebody clicks buy, don't click buy. You might not know. They might be willing to risk $500 and you're willing to risk $200. So always use your own trading style and your own strategy, and just use whoever's streaming as entertainment or confluence.
Yeah. I think it's such an interesting world that we're getting into, because when we first started trading 5-6 years ago, there wasn't as many streamers. There wasn't this world like you can go onto any social media platform. Like earlier, I was doing something on Instagram and someone was trading live in their Instagram story. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's
really?
Just everywhere.
Okay.
Like TikTok, Instagram, like a bazillion channels out there. So, I mean, there is so much
honestly noise out there. So I would definitely say it's been a world that has been exploding, and just be careful with that because not all channels and traders are created equal or have the same kind of background.
I'm glad you said that because you really need to vet who you follow. If you're going to start following somebody, watch them a few times. Don't take the trades. See how they operate. See if they get really mad if they lose a trade, they're not a seasoned trader. If they are robotic and they take their actual levels, or they tell you I'm cutting early because of this XYZ, then these are people you're going to follow. But in today's day and age, anybody with one of these can be a streamer. And I see people, they say, watch my journey to profitability, but you go in their bio and they have a Discord and they live stream and they charge for courses. So if you see somebody that doesn't have a lot of followers and doesn't consistently post profits or payouts or anything like that, take it with a grain of salt. A lot of these people are entertainers. They're not actually traders.
Right. And a lot of times they're trying to just get affiliate money and streamer money, which does not equate to a profitable trader that you really want to be learning from. Those are two different monetary goals. And for me, like, trading is the backbone of everything that I do. If I am not trading well and growing as a day trader who is pushing her numbers into the higher levels, then the rest of it is just fluff that has got to be managed differently, because trading has got to be the backbone of it. And I think approaching any sort of a public experience with that sort of approach is going to be so much more sustainable at the minimum.
I might be one of the few, but streaming made me a better trader. Because, when you're sitting in your office, you start tilting, you start taking these trades. Oh, I need to make this back. I need to do this. But I'm like, hey, I have 150 people watching me. I got to be on my A game. I'm only taking the good setups, but the pressure is also there to always be in a trade. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where you're not in a trade. What do you talk about? And especially, and this when you're by yourself, if the market's not moving or there's no setup, what do you talk about? Like, your only hope is people in the comments asking you questions. If not, you have to pull something out and just start rambling. And it's a tough skill to have. And the people that get good at it are just good at reading the room, getting people engaged, and engagement's the best part of it.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was so nervous when I started it, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like monkey around or whatever, but it has made me better. Like, the days where I stream in the morning, I'm like, I take less like mess around and find out, and like, this could work, or questionable entries. I'm like, because you say out loud, I would like to see this at this level, and if it doesn't do that, then I don't like the trade. And so then after that comes out of my mouth, especially when you're streaming, you're like, well, that makes total sense. I probably should wait until it gets to that level, and it like cements it in the process.
Yeah, talking it out loud. Because when I'm by myself, I'm not saying, all right, Justin, we're looking at support here, we're looking at resistance here. If this does this, I'm just watching TV and trading. And when you actually talk about it and think about what you're saying, sometimes you're like, wow, that was stupid. Why did I just say that? Actually, I'm not going to take that trade. But once you go through it enough, it's and I know people that don't even stream, but they record themselves and do their thought process. And I think that's such a good thing to do to make yourself a better trader, is to walk yourself through it's like pre-journaling. You pre-journal, you take the trade and then journal afterwards, and you got all steps of the trade in it.
Yeah, it makes you so much more prepared and focused and level-headed, and I love that as well. And someone asked me to do that 3 or 4 years ago, and I did it a little bit here and there, but it was always valuable. And it's, and I think the people that approach this whole world of like cautiously optimistic, like when I started with BluSky, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, and I might just have to like bow out. Honestly, like, don't tell the bosses. I don't know if they'll watch this, but I was hesitant with it, but I think that actually made me do better, because I was like, if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to be very cautious and intentional and ease my way into it. Don't go all or nothing. And that's like leveraging up with anything in this trading world, whether you start trading more contract sizes or you start putting more pressure on yourself, such as trading in front of an audience. Recognize that that's going to test you psychologically. And in that situation, you want to give yourself grace and don't put pressure on it right away, and size down from minis to micros or to a certain number of micros, in order to diminish some of the pressures. When you're adding another pressure that's sort of out of the control of it, then I had to cut pressure elsewhere. And I have been trading more micros than I ever have before in recent years, because I was trading minis when I came to BluSky. And now it's like, what micros are printing right now also. So, I mean, that was
going to say right now in the current environment, micros have got to be the move. I don't know when you guys are going to watch this, but the market has been moving 1,500 points on NQ every day. And if you're trading minis and you're on the wrong side, the slippage alone can kill your account. So we've all been sizing down, and we've been probably making more money than usual just because the market's moving faster. I remember you, I think it was your first time streaming. You're like, oh my God, wow, I lost the trade. Like, I hope people come and see. I'm like, God, it's going to be fine. You're going to lose trades. Your win rate's this amount. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. They're here to see you.
Oh my God, that was true. The first time that I took a losing trade on stream, I almost cried. Like I got off and I had tears in my eyes. I was like, what if someone took it with me and lost?
It's a real feeling. Yeah.
It's true. And you have to like say caveat. And if other streamers don't say it, I'm going to say it for all of us, is that you have to enter a trade that you believe in and you kind of understand it. And in order to fully accept the risk, because at the end of the day, if you're clicking buy and sell, like the responsibility is on you. But there is that pressure.
Yeah. But I think eventually you start to realize people see you more than once or twice. They're here to see you because you either made them money or they trust you or somebody they trust told them to come see you. If they didn't think you were worth it, people wouldn't continue to show up day in and day out. And we see people, the same people and new people every day continue to show up when we stream. So we're doing something right.
Yeah. And I think being nervous about it honestly makes me feel more sharp, recognizing that there's a risk and I want to make sure that I'm talking about and interested in the best setups that I could possibly see. I'm just becoming a better trader through it. And so that's like the silver lining that I wasn't sure would be the outcome, but it seems to be that. So when you take something seriously in terms of your trading and putting extra pressure on or doing something different, taking on another instrument perhaps, and doing it very cautiously, knowing that it's another level and to be really prudent and respectful of the risk that you're taking on, I think that that's how we actually level up and become those really consistently profitable 20-year traders that trade large size, is because these foundational periods that you're putting pressure on, you're doing it purposefully.
Yeah, and I want to go back to your point about how when you took a loss, you almost cried. I think taking losses on stream makes you analyze the loss more than if it's just, I took a loss, like no big deal. It's like, okay, why did I take that loss? Was it a good setup? Okay, it was a good setup. That's fine. Was it a bad setup and was I trading just to trade? Okay, I need to reevaluate and I need to not do that again. So I think it makes 100% makes me a better trader. And the longer I do this and the higher the audience number grows, the more I grow and the better trader I become.
And I think no matter what you do, if you're considering streaming or you're just curious about people who do stream and you want to like hear that experience, I think it is an opportunity, but you do want to like recognize that it's not for everyone and it's going to be weird before it's less weird, because it's been something that it changes it for you. And I did expect that it would change me, but I think recognizing that it was a challenge that I had to like adjust into helped a lot. And that's with anything in trading, whether you're trying to take on another instrument, because also during this time, we trade NQ, gold, and ES. And I have never traded gold before I came to BluSky. And other people outside of BluSky traded around me. And so in that situation too, I was taking on another instrument. So I started watching it and tracking it. And I remember like I just watched it for a couple months and drew my levels on it. And then when it was time and I saw good setups, which wasn't all the time, I trade gold maybe 2 or 3 trades a week now. And but in doing that, like it's a new instrument for me. And so I watch it first. And then I started trading with 1 or 2 micros. And I still trade like 1 to 3 micros on it because it's still relatively new for me. But so like that is an example too of how your trading can evolve. If you want to start trading a slightly different market, do it carefully, consult other people that already trade it, start watching it and start small. And that's a similar kind of parallel to all traders that you can kind of level up with.
Yeah. And you actually slapped a ridiculous gold play the other day. So it's working. And I think also streaming, like the same as personal growth, trader growth, because you have eyes on you. You're going to think about what you say. You're going to think about the trades you take. So I think it's just another step in the journey to just becoming the best trader you can, the best version of yourself. And one thing I do want to add is we're talking about streaming and we're talking about showing live executions. We're not sitting here going like, if this does, I do this. Oh, I'm in. Oh, I'm out. Oh, I didn't end up taking that one because it didn't look good. If you are watching a streamer and they're not showing their live executions, don't watch them. Like you need to see their P&L, their entry, their exit. Because if people are just drawing the green box and the red box, you have no idea if they're taking the trade or not.
Right. And to be a trader who can show you the trades and hold the heat, like it's a different level of trader that can just talk it out versus one that can hold the pressure. Like this morning I got in that trade and I was sitting, it was a more aggressive opportunity, but I had a lot of justification behind it. So I talked about the justification and I got in and I had to sit there for about 5 minutes while it hesitated before I started taking off. And so that is an example of like, you want to be able to like to take the heat and show it in real time on camera or whatever with your executions and just, experience that, because that makes it more real. It makes it more trustworthy that this is a risk that I see as a potential good opportunity.
And I think it's good to show other traders. We're on camera when we do it too. It's not just our chart. So, you're going green, you're going red, you're going green, you're going red. Went all the way back to, I think the other day we were up $700 and went all the way back to red. But we're sitting there and we're like, okay, the setup is still there. I'm not stressing out, guys. If it goes to here, we'll cut, but it should come back to here. And it did end up doing it. And I think it's a great example to show newer traders or just traders that, like you said, can't handle the heat, can't handle the drawdown, or can't stand a trade long enough that, hey, this is how professionals do it. You're going to lose. It's like, it happens. 60% win rate. We keep saying you're going to lose 4 out of 10, but there's reasons to hold and there's reasons to cut. And I think just showing the calmness and the stress-free attitude going into the trade and staying in the trade really, really helps a lot of people. Because you see it if you're holding a trade or I'm holding a trade, somebody goes, wow, I would have cut that, like, great hold, or I held with you because you looked so calm. Meanwhile, they don't know. I like to say I'm like a duck, calm above the water, and I'm just below the desk. My feet are just going nuts. Yeah.
I think that that's absolutely the truth. And the 60% win rate, my gosh, I passed that 30K BluSky account last Thursday live while live trading in Power Hour. And then
Okay.
as it passed, it locked me out. And so I pulled up my statistics literally on screen while I was streaming and showed the last month of data that led me to that. And some days were small losses and some days were small wins, some days were bangers. But it showed on that stream a 65% win rate led to passing a large account over time with, like, not a perfect like $1,000 a day or whatever. Like, that's kind of the reality of trading, is that not every trade is going to hit. And as long as you're controlling your downside, that's how the accounts grow.
Yeah, and the transparency is amazing, because if you're watching and you're newer and you get scared about losing trades, professional traders shoot for 50 to 60%. If you can hit 50 to 60% and you're trading your system that makes sense, you're going to make money. It's the people that want the 90%, the 100%, that end up losing money because they're scared to hold their winners, and they're losers. They just let go forever because they want it to come back.
Yeah, which is dangerous. That's a habit that if you train that into your system like that, you can have really tilt days or have massive losses that just annihilate an account that maybe you've been building for a week or two, which is a really hard pill to swallow. So I would definitely not encourage that sort of behavior. Once you start feeding a habit day over, it becomes so much harder to break over time. So if you can catch that there is too much risk in something that you're doing and try to stop doing it, it's so much more sustainable.
Absolutely. Agree. 100% agree.
And you talked about how that one trade we were in was up 700 and then came back. Can we just talk about the volatility for a minute? Because we are recording this on Friday, June 12th. It's wild.
Yeah. Trading the New York Open this week, I think a 1 minute candle was averaging about 80 points. Where
Yeah.
normally it's maybe 20, 30 at most. So the holds are hard. You have to have more drawdown. And I personally trimmed my position down to 3 micros, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're catching 200-300 points, that's what, $1,000 trades. Like, how many trades have we seen with 3 micros this week that went $400 or $500 in
Yeah.
minutes? But
Yeah.
also, we need to be dynamic as traders, because you know me, I love to hold my trades. I want to hold my trade all day, put my stop loss at break even, and I don't even want to worry about it. Yeah, exactly. I want to just flex and just shoot the S with everybody in the chat and talk about something else. This week, absolutely not. My average trade time, I think, is about 25 seconds. In, out. If you're holding these plays, even if you're going the right direction, it ends up going to your target, you're going to get wrecked before it's going to come back. It's going to wreck you. Then it's going to go. So take your money, get out. And that's something that, I mean, if you want to have a conversation about that, being dynamic as a trader, I think is something people overlook. They find one system or one thing that's working at that time, and then they can't change. They can't be dynamic with the market, because I know people that are getting smoked right now because they're trying to trade the system that they were using 2 months ago when the market was, quote unquote, chill.
Just a quick pause before we get into this. Trading can be intense, and staying mindful during your session matters so much. That's why I created and am sharing a free 3-part audio experience that's helped me deeply. 1 for starting your day with calm intention, 1 to stay centered while you trade, and 1 to wind down with grace when it's time to stop. These tracks are yours. Just click the link in the description.
Yeah, I absolutely want to talk about that, because I think that is the key element right now to surviving as a trader, because the volatility, the numbers we are seeing is astronomical. And it reminds me of the trader in our group podcast this morning. He was like, in a 30-second trade, he made $300. I'm like,
Oh, God. He was in like 6 trades in the first 5 minutes.
and he just
Yeah.
grabbed him.
Yeah.
Well, that's the situation, is like when it is moving and these candles are so large, to hold them, you have to really have conviction, because that whips around. Like, we're getting wicks, we're getting big wicks on these massive candles. And so that absolutely could be like a nice profit and then flips you to red and whips your stop out. All
Which
within like,
we've seen a lot of times this week.
yeah. And so for me, that has looked like sizing down as well, and then really being more particular about my entries. And if I was, if you trade a calm market, which we have seen here and there over the last several years, you can get in at, ish, and then you can hold, and it doesn't really go against your stop. It's like takes its time and then it eventually takes off. Well, in these markets, like with the candles this size, like you could be trying to get your fill and it could take off 70 points, and you were just trying to get long 5 seconds ago. And so to get a fill is tricky. You have to get those pullback entries that you are killer at, and really be more intentional with entries and sizing down. As there's two big things that I have been trying to had to adjust on to stay alive in this market.
Well, I even think exits too, because we've seen price. How many times have we seen we're trading? We're like, okay, our price target is here. We're like, oh, it already hit and it's back down to my entry. You can't even click the button fast enough. So like limit in, limit out, have your plan before you get into the trade, which you always should, by the way, but have your plan and have your executions already ready, or else, like, what was it this morning? Some news came out and I think the NQ dropped 200 points and you said, whoa, what just happened, before my chart even moved. Like, that's how quick this stuff is moving.
Dude, and you know what saved me that moment, that first short that I took this morning, was I got in short and then I placed my stop, and my little was at the door and he needed help with something in the morning. And I was like, I'll be right back, right? And I went out and helped him. I was gone for 2 minutes and I came back in and I had my target set. So I did not walk away from that trade without a target based on the level and my stop based on the level. And I came back and it just, like, I was
I
like,
heard your little
I
ding
didn't
ding go
see either.
off.
Well, my fill hit. And I was like, I guess I'm in profit.
Right? Exactly. 100%.
Had I not had that limit target, it would have gone back to entry.
Oh, and in a minute, I think. And this is a good point to be about dynamic, because right now we have a conflict going on with Iran that was supposed to only last a couple of weeks, but it's lasted months and months and months. But before that, you can't trade the same right now as you were trading before. You can't. There's going to be a news candle every day that we know, and then the news isn't going to follow through, so it's going to go the other way. So you have to be incredibly dynamic and not be married to your bias, is another thing.
This is pretty good. This is a part of my strategy that has been there always, but I'm definitely still very much scaling in and scaling out. So if I see a good entry, but it's not fully confirmed yet, I will get in with like partial position. And then when it confirms, then I'll add, because I don't want like my fill way up here necessarily, but I don't want full size on either. And so like I've been scaling in to get my entries almost always, and then scaling out, because I'll recognize that this could be a key resistance or this one, and it could fly. Like we've seen giant moves, but also we've seen a lot of wicking action. So for me, if I get in maybe say 4 micros, I scale out 1 or 2, then I don't have any kind of salty feelings if it comes back to my break-even stop loss that I've moved up after it's done at least 1 pop. And in that situation, that's risk management too, because you're locking in some profits where it could resist that. And sure, you're holding back some if it does fly, but then you're keeping a runner and you manage your stop. And so that has been much more sustainable too. Always, that's been my strategy, but I am absolutely not changing that now, because it's protecting me in this higher volatility wiki environment we're in.
Exactly, because I mean, you don't want to see $500 go to zero, but if you trim out the majority of your position, $100 to zero is not as bad, because you locked in that 400. So it's not a big deal. And like you said, I changed my strategy a little bit. I used to go full position size, and I either get stopped out or I hit profit. Now I'm layering in, because the wicks are so big, and my stop loss is typically not 80 points, which I don't think it can ever be if you want to actually make money. I'm going like half position here, and if it comes down to here, I'm in my next half position. So I'm kind of same thing, risk management. I'm not going full position and I get caught in a knife. I'm layering in so that the downside won't be too bad. And then when you do catch the actual reversal, you're in your full size.
Which, you guys, this conversation right now is a part of why it's so valuable to be in a good community, because these are the conversations that we're having every day, because this is how we are surviving. This is how we're kind of adjusting and managing and making, this is what we have found that allows us to lock in profits and not get damaged. And for me, having big wicks going full size right away or bigger size or whatever, and then not managing your stop or scaling more proactively, if you go into profit and you slide down for your stop, like for me, talking trading psychology, preventing tilt is like key. So
Number one.
If you tilt, you're just effed. Like it's just
you're done. Yeah. Trading one.
Yeah. So like think about strategy and like talk it out with your trading people, talk it out with us at BluSky, watch podcasts like this, because like honestly, having a strategy about support and resistance and trend line holds for trending days and different things that you can use, fib levels, what have you, whatever your entry criteria is. That strategy only works as long as you can stay steady and honor it and not lose your mind if this volatility hurts you.
Well, let's be real. People aren't watching us for our technical analysis. They're not coming to our streams to learn how to draw a trend line. They're not coming to what kind of candle is this, Justin or Becky? What
Yeah.
maybe where'd you get that level? But they're coming to watch us in the moment how we're trading. And we
Yeah.
are very transparent. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, holy, what the heck just happened? Like, oh, sorry guys, that's on me. But I feel like you got to find a community that is transparent and there are real people, not just, okay, come in, take the trade, get out of here. We're engaging with the chat, telling real horror stories and just being real people.
Yeah. And I think I've talked before in other Market Mama videos, and honestly, almost every guest, if not 90% of them, will say a part of their trading journey that was transformative was getting the right people around them. Because if you're listening to a group that is like toxic or negative or a signal without information and doesn't teach like real things with some skin in the game, those will hold you back more than they'll support you. But if you can pivot and find the right people, BluSky, or if maybe you already have that, I love that for you. Having people around you that are supportive and kind and respectful and pretty smart and growing together and sharing authentically, that is a catalyst for sustainability and mental stability and also compounding like success in this game. Because if other people you see me or Justin take a loss and we're like, great, I'm going to take a minute. I'm not going to hop back in. Like, that's all right. I kept my risk the size that I want. Like, that is an example too of like taking the hits sometimes because not every trade wins. And so I think a strong community is monumental in psychology and staying the course as a trader.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wasted, I'd say, my first 2 years of trading bouncing from community to community. Oh, this guy makes a ton of money. I'm going to follow him. Okay. Is he actually trading? Can he teach? Oh, he can't teach. Okay, why am I here then if I actually if I want to learn how he trades, but he can't teach me, how am I going to do that? Then you go to another community. They don't teach at all. It's just, here's my trade. I made a ton of money. Pay me $50. And then I finally found somebody who was like my age, had the same goals, same everything, simple strategy that I could understand and was willing to teach. And then it was just game over. And then, eventually, I had my own community. I found BluSky, and you just got to go with people that you vibe with. And what I love about BluSky is it's kind of a more mature group at the moment. I wouldn't say there's a lot of tomfoolery around there. Everybody's willing to help. If you ask a question there, somebody's going to answer it. If it's not one of the coaches, one of the other profitable traders will answer it.
Yeah. Yeah, which I love that. Like my first trading group, I think honestly their marketing team was on fire because they had a very large team. It was a big community, but people weren't winning is what I caught on the longer I was there. I kept paying my monthly fees. They kept adding things for an extra fee. And so I kept paying more and more. And none of us were consistently winning it. And then, the little spidey sense of like, this is not meeting my goals or my needs. And thank goodness, maybe it was where I was supposed to start because I met some really powerful people that I had stayed with, but we all left there and we went to a different route. And then that's where, when it finally felt right, that's when the real changes started happening. That
I did the same thing. I was in a terrible group a long time ago. And then like 5 of us peeled off and made our own group chat. And then we'd be like, okay, I found this community. Let's try it out. No, that didn't work out. I found this community. And I actually had one of the guys on BluSky TV the other day for an interview. I was kept in touch with them that whole time, and we bounced from community to community to community. And now we're both full-time traders, and we teach people, and it's what we love to do. So just because one community doesn't work out, don't give up because of that. There's just continue to find a group of people and peel off and do your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing with trading is stay dynamic in all the ways. Stay dynamic. If someone in your trading circle is making you feel bad or uncomfortable or at the very least just not helpful, bye. So pivot your people in your circle to make it as ideal as possible and then adjust your strategy. Have a good strategy, but if volatility changes, if there's war news or if it's an earnings week or whatever, adjust and stay fluid and stay ears open to what's going on. Like staying dynamic is just absolutely pivotal in all aspects of trading.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing about communities. Pick and choose wisely because I don't know about you, but the people I trade with and the people I've maybe taught or my core group of traders, I talk to them more than anybody in my life, more than my family, my wife more, but more than my best friends, more than anybody. Like I talk to you more than a lot of people in my life. I talk to 3 of my friends I have a group chat with about trading more than most people in my life. And the running joke was like, who thought one of my best friends would be some random dude I met on the internet?
Real talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
People don't get in real life. You have to have people to get it. And it's almost like dating somebody. It's like you cut them fast if they're not going to be beneficial to your trading journey or to your life. Because we have blunt conversations. I'm like, oh, I took this trade. They're like, are you stupid? Why would you do that? You know you're not supposed to do that. And these are the kind of conversations you have to have with your trading buddies.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I have a lot of people in this world that are kind of like that for me. But one girl, Waji, she's my girl. And like, if I don't check in by like 10 a.m., she's like calling me. She's like, "What happened?" Like,
What'd you do, Becky?
and it's either I'm really busy or I pull some BS and I don't want to tell her.
You don't want to talk to anybody. I love that.
Lean into those people because that is stability. Because also a thread through traders who actually make it past the first year is that they have leaned into recognizing that lay people, non-traders, will never support you the same way or understanding this game. Trading is too complex, and the ability to put on that leverage and hold through that risk and deal with the P&L fluctuations in all aspects, you don't understand that until you have experienced that and weathered some real hard days. And so you don't really need to be hearing on trading from people who don't get it. And so having kind of those two subsets in your life of like real people, your wife, spouse, family, whatever, but then the trading people, that makes you have the support you need in order to become an advanced trader.
It's funny. I realized that when I was showing one of my really good friends, I was like, dude, look at this trade I took. He's like, what is that? I'm like, oh, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to you, does it? Okay, never mind. I'll go talk to somebody else about this.
Cheers to that, because I absolutely agree with that.
And something also, I don't really think you should tell people outside of your circle that you trade, because people they only see the success when you make it. They see year 6, they see year 5. But year 1 through 4, where the hell were they? They weren't there checking on you, asking how your dreams were going, things like that. They just saw that you were failing, you were gambling. But then year 5, year 6 comes around. Oh man, can you teach me? No.
I'm going to say something kind of vulnerable that I didn't really plan on saying, but I just have to say that this whole topic is like very weird for me, having this Market Mamas podcast, which is a trader psychology podcast. And the core of most of my episodes talk about trader psychology. And then at BluSky, I trade live. So I am executing trades. We're more of a trade focus there when we're on stream, but also I get to the psychology there. What I haven't really done on the Market Mama side of things is share P&L and like my success, my winning trades and my losing trades. And I just, in a lot of the eyes of a lot of people out there who judge channels, which is fine, they want to see proof of concept. They want to see the winning trade. So I've been posting more of those, like my winning days and stuff, but it is so damn uncomfortable because on my channels, there are lay people, there are mom friends and school friends and my aunts. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I've been doing this for 5.5 years. Like, I'm trying to flex so that people know I'm real, but like, don't make it weird. I don't know.
It's funny because I have a trading Instagram and then I have a personal Instagram. And every once in a while, I forget to switch to my trading Instagram and I'll post something. And then I get all these DMs like, whoa, what is this? What is this? I'm like, oh, damn it. I'm on my personal Instagram. Let me switch over. But actually, I did see you post the charting video and I did see you post the P&L. And I immediately messaged you. I said, go girl, go get it. This is the next step. Now you have proof of concept, social proof, and that people already know what you're talking about. Get that full circle.
I know this time, and then I gotta push myself into it because it's just, I don't want to make anyone feel some kind of way. But honestly, though, being a trader for 5.5 years and learning from excellent mentors and growing and evolving my system, like this is what it looks like. You start getting more numbers and you start taking bigger trades and better trades and trading a couple of different instruments in a setting. And so I also want to show that side of things of the way that it has progressed. And I think that is the beauty of trading, is that you stick with it, you stay dynamic, you get good people around you. Like we get to this 5-6 years into trading as you and I are, and we're starting to see outcomes that we're proud of and we want to share and help everyone else come with us into these higher levels.
Well, wait till you post the losing trade and watch how many more people comment or come at you. Not just your winning ones.
I did, actually. I don't know if you saw one of my Market Mamas videos a couple weeks ago was like my best trade and my worst trade of a week.
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, epic. You know what?
Transparency, right? People love it.
I believe in authenticity, and that's a big part of who I am on no matter what stream I am on. And so I think standing behind that as well makes it more real. I think you can trust someone who talks about the losing as well as the winning. I think that's important.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah. Justin, I really am so thankful you came on with me today. How about last words of anything you would say to someone who is trying to progress through maybe still being a little bit iffy on the charts and is trying to get to those more consistent levels? What kind of would you think of that would be the most helpful in that situation for that trader?
Well, there's a few things. Number one is don't give up. Trading is really hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. I probably said on the last episode, but you need to treat trading like college. You're not going to get good in a year or two. I mean, if you do, awesome. Like you're one of the better people I've ever met. But it took me four years before I really felt comfortable trading. And there's a lot of losses, a lot of wins, but having people to talk to is one of the most important things, and having people that you can trust. And besides the psychology thing, because I think most people just talk about psychology, pick a strategy and stick with it for more than a couple weeks. Like, you need to have real data to see if it's actually working or not, because strategy hopping is what killed my first 3 years. I'd use this, then I'd use this, then I'd follow this guy, and I'd use this. So basically, community, trust people, try your strategy, let it play out, and get the data, and just stick with it. You'll get it.
That's such a good example. And I can say that he's speaking from reality, because I have traded with you enough, Justin, and you have a sick retest entry model that like prints some P&L.
And it's simple. It's so simple. It's the same thing every time.
Yeah, I can attest to that, because I'm like, wait, he got picked up and he's in and we're already in profit. Like, he's got $100 printed in the green and I didn't even freaking see his get hit. It's amazing.
Yep. Well, you hear me all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm in.
Here we go. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, well, you guys, we're going to link Justin's previous episode with me, Market Models, was last fall, and I'll link that in the description in case you missed it, because there was some really good wisdom there about the early trading years and how we progressed there. So you can watch that if you haven't and get a little bit more of Justin's story. But he is a sick trader. And if you want more of us, we do. Market Mamas is my trader psychology podcast. I'm showing you a little bit more on technicals in here. But for live trading, I do that at BluSky. So that's BluSky TV on all the platforms as well. And honestly, like, I just believe as well in us sticking with it and doing all of the things that make us better, because I truly believe that trading has massive potential for those of us that stick with it. So cheers to that.
Yeah, and one last thing is, you don't have to be the smartest person to trade. You just have to stick with it and follow your rules. And I think a lot of people forget that. Like, you must be really smart because you're a good trader. No, I just created a system that even a dummy could follow.
Yeah, and you stuck with it and you refined it and you kept at it. Because if you get a couple losses and you're like, this doesn't work, I need to like hunt another YouTube streamer that's going to fix me. Really stick with it, because that's where the growth comes from.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, I promise I won't bite. I'm here to help. Same with Becky. You know, we're a team.
Find us. Our links are in the description for some communication and questions and episode requests or what have you. Like, we are here and available, and we love, all of us contributing to a community where we can all actually really grow and strive and hit those higher numbers together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me on again, Becky. Now let's run it back next week to the live trading.
That's right. My pleasure. I will see you there. Everyone, take care and stay safe.